Hi, Jordan. Welcome. Data Revolution Tour in London. New branding and everything. It's been really excellent so far. But is this your first one that you've been to?
No. I had the opportunity to go to Sydney, Australia. I started
nice.
off my tours there, and then I was in Amsterdam yesterday and in the lovely town of London today.
Yeah. It's been a great buzz, and that buzz has been made better around the announcement that we made.
Yeah.
Let's get straight into there with data literacy and the program and what we're doing behind that. So can you give everyone a taste of what that is and what the announcement was?
Yeah, the big announcement we launched today at the London event was the announcement of what's called the Data Literacy Project. It is an independent community that we've teamed up with other companies and organizations to be founding members, which is truly driven on helping organizations and individuals become more independent and or more data literate. And one of the most exciting pieces about it is the fact that we actually did a statistical study to prove out that data literacy has a financial benefit to organizations.
Who did we go out to for that study?
We partnered up with Wharton School of Business out of the University of Pennsylvania, and we actually surveyed over 600 different decision makers, leaders, et cetera, across the world. From public companies, we needed to be able to get access to data to be able to do it. And through that, we studied what kind of value does an organization have and what kind of correlations does data literacy bring. And thankfully, the study came back in a good way and showed that there's a nice correlation that if you're data literate, you're worth more money. If you're data literate, return on sales or different types of things go better. And one of the key ones is if you're data literate, you bring things to market faster. Which makes sense, right? You're using data to make decisions.
But there are other bad metrics that came out, weren't there?
Absolutely.
Not so this one. I mean, when we talk about great that we can make all this money or make the world a better place, but we're not there yet, are we?
We're not. No. One of the things that came out of it, and we've kind of had this understanding for a little while from the survey we did last year, but this just brought it more to the forefront. Organizations are willing to pay it lip service and say they want to do this, but the reality is they're not backing it up with action. And so we see this massive skills gap. And what we find is those organizations that are digitally and data literate are the ones way ahead in the market and the ones that have a lot of value. And so it's up to leaders to say we're no longer, going to just pay it lip service.
But is that because they know there's a problem, but they don't know how to fix it?
I think there's a little bit about that. I think that sometimes leaders get caught up in the hype cycle, and so they hear buzzwords and they feel that they want to do it, but they don't know how to do it. As I've traveled the world, the number one question I have received is, Jordan, we agree with you. How do we do this? And we've created materials on that. We have a program that people can use, not just courses, but an adoptive program that organizations can use to put it in place. And so that is the reality of this is we're trying to use this new data literacy project, the independent community with the founding members, to help them see how to do it, to not just pay it lip service, but to actually bring success to the initiative.
So who are we partnering with then? Because I see this from what I've heard as being something, a project that won't be led by Click the whole time.
It's not.
We'll give it that momentum, that push, but we want it to then gain its own momentum. So who's going to help that happen? What partners are we working with?
Absolutely. It is very much independent. It was all commissioned by Click, put together by Click, run essentially by us. But to your point, the whole purpose is to bring more intelligent minds to the table. So we have Experian, we have Cognizant, we have Pluralsight, the Chartered Institute of Marketing, Data to the People, and Accenture are founding members with us to start off. On top of that, we have an advisory board, which I'm on, and then we're looking to get about 4 to 5 members. We have a couple already, and we're going to grow that so that over time, the momentum will carry itself. This advisory board and the Data Literacy Project Click will have say, and all these other organizations will have say on the direction on how we need to push data literacy out to the world. And the nice thing is we're also the advertisement we'll do. Click, all the program that I've had the opportunity and helped to build from different parts of the organization is a part of it. So you can go right on there and find the Click courses. They might not say click on them, but it is what we're doing from a QCC and all those courses that we build.
Continuous Classroom,
and so, exactly, Click Continuous Classroom. So the education side will be there, but as you look at the site or the branding and all of that, it does not look like Click because it's not designed to be in this case.
And that's quite good, isn't it? I mean, because hopefully what we're after is that this is a standard that not just Click, because this isn't necessarily a technology.
No,
this is something will benefit all technologies out there. So maybe even I'll say it under my breath, maybe even the Tableaus and the Microsoft of this world might get involved, and that would be fantastic.
Yeah, and in my time here, I've always been product agnostic, working with organizations that use our competitors plus Click, or not even use Click at all. Now we're really showing how much we're behind that vision by producing a totally independent group to drive this messaging forward, because we believe that it should be for everyone. If you we're not only thinking that we need to help 1,000 people, we need to help millions. And I just did a journalist interview where he said, "Would you even consider billions?" I said, "Absolutely. I like to think big, because we're in a day and age where data is going to dominate." And so if we can empower people appropriately with resources, bringing in all these brains around it, not only bringing the brains to the table, but showing their resources too. So not just Click resources, but Accenture resources, Experian, Pluralsight, putting them into the website so everyone has access to build data literacy initiatives.
So we are very on the corporate responsibility side. Yep. So where does that, the Med-Airs and the We See Hopes and all these people that are doing such good work out there, where do they get involved?
It's a fantastic question and perfect timing. Just last week, a few days ago, I was brought onto a phone call with the New York Academy of Sciences, along with Julie Whipple, head of corporate social responsibility, and the discussion around how can we use data literacy for education. And I'm now getting involved with that organization to make that happen. I think because we provide our resources from a free perspective, it provides a lot of opportunity for corporate social responsibility, because it's not about we're just selling you a product. We're trying to empower you to have a skill that will be relevant for years to come. And so we've already started that conversation of having me work with the New York Academy of Sciences, which is on the education side of things.
Yeah, because data, we have so much. We acquired Podium Data not so long ago. And that's talking about, yes, we store data. Yes, we bring that data in. But also we tend to, and Paul Barth called it a data swamp, where we put everything in this data lake, and then it all gets out of date, etc. So the data literacy, this all sits very nicely around the fact to find out what that data is and how it works. You need to be able to read, write, and argue with that data, don't you, within that data lake, and that's just as important as well.
Absolutely. If you think about the reality, as I was asked a question recently, do you invest in people or software first? If you invest in software but people don't know what they're doing, that's a very big investment. It's going to be fruitless for you. So you have to invest in people. So when you make all these data strategies and data investments, if you want them to take off in the appropriate way, you need data literacy. And through my travels around the world, I'm finding most roadblocks, most impediments to data strategies are not technology. In fact, most of the time technology is fine. It's the people. And the people mess it up. And the people create silos. And they create roadblocks. Imagine empowering them with the language of data and data skills, data decision making, asking good questions, what that does for data strategies and data initiatives. It's huge. Hence why we built this big project.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point you brought up there about the tools and the way that works. Because also you can be the most data literate person in the world, but if the tool is not intuitive and doesn't give that information, that can also. So you've always got to go at it from all these different angles to find out. And Donald Farmer was talking earlier about artificial intelligence or augmented intelligence. And that therein lies there something else to be thinking about. Because if you've got an augmented or artificial intelligence system, if you don't understand the data to start with, someone or some system sitting there and saying, "Oh, this might be a good idea," and all that might, which is what we do when we augment that, it's just not going to work either.
It's not. Think about the ability that if you put augmented intelligence side by side with a data literate person, you bring the human element in, and you bring the technology in to create a massive, powerful system to make decisions. But if you just rely on the AI and you're not bringing the human element in, you could have big problems. And if you're only relying on the human and not the technology,
you need both.
Big problems. You need those things married together to create that partnership.
Okay. So, big announcement today. And obviously that's amazing. But I'm sure you're not sitting on your laurels.
Right.
What's coming up for Jordan Morrow? What have you got around the corner?
Big things. From a Click perspective, one of the ways that we're looking at doing this is how do we scale this now? A lot of my time is spent with organizations now. And
you are Mr. Data Literacy,
I just don't have the time to do it all. So we're looking at internally scaling this with people, building teams, building initiatives to empower people to be able to speak to it themselves. On top of that, I'm very keen that it's one thing to have all the thought leadership, but if our program itself, our education program falls behind, not a good thing. So we're keen on building that, building more courses, building more things, more certifications that can be done to kind of marry with our thought leadership side with the data literacy project. All of those are a part of it. And then, of course, more and more of these speaking engagements, bringing awareness to it, all of that, all wrapped into this big program that we've created.
Program. So you're a very, very busy man. Where are you off to next? When's your next event?
I'm in London today. I'm in Paris tomorrow, and then I get to go home, and then we'll be back on the road for New York State of Revolution tour and some other travels. So,
well, I shall see you at New York.
Absolutely,
Jordan. It's been a pleasure. As always. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I think it's a brilliant thing that we're doing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.